I stopped breathing. I go, it hurt so much. Took my breath away, you know. Send this to my family. Just send it to all my relatives. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, can you pick it up? No.
Wait, do you actually need it?
Well, no, but you shouldn't break it.
Well, do I clip it to your nose?
No, finger. You know something? I often joke about. I say to people, "I'll just put this in your nose, finger. Sorry." So I guess I deserve that. Now you can see on the screen that it's.
Hey, he's alive. Do you ever get the impulse to do things?
I was cutting some dead branches off the tree in the backyard, and on the lower branches, and I was using a stepladder, and I succeeded in doing all the dead branches, and then I cleaned up neatly and put them to the side, and I went up one last time to cut one last branch, and on the way down, apparently I slipped and fell about 4 feet on my shoulder, and when I landed, took my breath away. I was knocked the wind right out of me, and I was kind of like probably the worst I've ever knocked the wind out of myself. So
yeah, that typically happens when you break ribs.
Yeah, well, I came down about maybe 4 feet, right on my shoulder. So I got a separated shoulder, and I got fractures in my ribs from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 12th, and multiple fractures in 5, 6, and 7. So 3 through 12 is like 9 ribs.
In a fraction of a second.
In a fraction of a second. Gravity works very efficiently. Brought me right down to earth. So then I tried to tough it out, but when I got in the house, a neighbor came over because he heard the crash, and he asked if it was okay. And by that time, I said I'm probably not, and so they called an ambulance and brought me in. And at first, they were looking at my shoulder, which they were thinking was dislocated. And eventually, I kept saying, "Well, the pain's really in my ribs." So they checked it out, and they said, "Well, you got a lot of fractures, and a pneumothorax and a hemothorax. It's minor, but they said flail chest. Now they'll admit me for 3 to 5 days for observation, and that's my story. And now it's 2-person every time I use a ladder. So there you go.
Finally, it only took 59 years.
It got away from it to now. Fortunately, I had moved the branches of the way, so they didn't have to pick the branches out of my body. Because
they were punctures.
They were, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that make me a very punctual person. But I mean, they were dead branches. They were all those, it wasn't
Are you dead serious?
They weren't like nice, soft, floppy branches. They were all the pokey ones. So
okay,
that would have been good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we first met, you're like, "Oh, I like taking videos with my son. This is him."
Yeah.
Now he's the subject. Were you gonna do a bladder scan thing?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're just giving reporting.
You can do it, and then he's gonna tape it.
It'll be entertaining.
Because they can watch the screen and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Education.
You're like,
okay, we're just getting everything teed up for you, Lawrence, before you go upstairs too.
Yeah, I know everybody here. So.
Wait, actually?
No, I mean I know her, and I knew different people. So Scott, my next door neighbor, the paramedic.
Was Scott the one that picked you up?
No, but the paramedics that picked me up, they said, "Oh, you know Scott?" I said, "Yeah, I know Scott." So anyway, Scott, and then I got to emerge, and there was Scott, and he was in and out all day saying hi, and he said, "Do you want me to put away your ladder now?" So a bunch of branches that still have it's yard waste week, and I was hoping to get that all done.
Do you think you'll ever branch out?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll need to chop them into little pieces and put them on the side of the road.
They almost chopped you into little pieces.
Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't have my head, and glad I didn't have branches on the ground, because they were spiky branches. It would have been picking them out of my ribs. So I would have been way worse.
All right, so what are you hooked up with? Entertain me.
So I got the ECG monitor and a flimsy. This is a makeshift sling from the emergency, the EMS paramedics put it on. But I can use this hand. I don't want to lift It's my elbow
Yeah.
down is fine, but my shoulder's a little more tender.
So, are you gonna get that popped back into place?
No, they said it's just a shoulder separation. It just means that all the ligaments and the tendons that got kind of stretched a bit. He said it's just a little separation, kind of, maybe that much. I'm assuming that it should be that much, like as in no separation. So I haven't looked it up yet either. But anyway,
So you never answered me earlier.
which one?
Did you try duct tape?
For what?
I don't know, just fixing your just wrap it around your body, and then you're fixed, right? And then spray some WD-40 in there, and you're good.
No, they don't really. It's just gonna have to heal slowly. I'm assuming since this has happened, they've called me twice. Can you work overtime? It's like
Okay, so
no, that's a firm no. So anyway,
you can come down to the other floor though and check out.
yeah, you can go over on that side. You can actually see the screen. You can film the screen. It'll show how much is in my bladder.
Okay.
That's cool. That's worth the price of admission. It'll actually pop up and show what the amount in my bladder.
Alrighty. Sorry, it's gonna be cold.
So is it like an ultrasound?
Yeah, it's ultrasound gel and.
Nice.
How large?
648.
How large is a bladder?
Like,
It
You
probably varies,
you can
but-
hold
you can-
hold more, but it gets the more it holds, the more uncomfortable you get.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, it depends. Like, I find that women get uncomfortable less than men do.
yeah, on the floors, it's in the hallway. Not that everybody would go find their way out of there.
So if you forget something.
What are you gonna do with ladders from now on?
Two people.
Make sure you get my good side.
Yeah.